Good afternoon. Your Premiership weekend starts here at Fir Park, where Motherwell meet Hearts live on BT Sport. Both teams had morale-boosting victories midweek. Both now want to build on those results and finish the season strongly. 3 points on Tuesday took the Steelmen up into the top half, but it's still very tight in the middle, and they'll be aware the gap to Hamilton in 11th is just 4. As for the Jambos, they got themselves back into the race for the top 3 on Wednesday. A stunning 4-1 win against Rangers means they've closed the gap on Aberdeen, but they can't shake off St Johnstone just yet. Stephen Craigan and Chris Sutton are here. Look, we were both all of us were so impressed by Hearts, both of you impressed by Hearts midweek, weren't we? It's all about continuing it today and taking it on. We all were, isn't it? It's momentum now.
Well, of course it is. You know, it's been a tough start for Ian Cathro, no doubt about it. You know, Craig Levine's been in the papers the last couple of days saying the plan was always to change the squad in January.
Yeah, he's got his own
was always
players
to
in
make
now,
a lot of...
Craig, hasn't he? This is his team. The team squad
but it was still
good
his team
enough.
before.
Now it's his team.
But it was still his team before because he was in charge of it, irrespective of what the personnel is.
Well, there
that was a message
question
coming
marks, weren't there? Because you know he took over a team in second place, and that was a gamble changing. And Stephen is quite right. It is one game, but it was a big statement, wasn't it, the other night?
Big game as well for Motherwell. What a victory that was midweek when you consider the next fixtures after this one today are Aberdeen away, Celtic away.
Well, it's about consistency. You know, Mark's been disappointed most of the season. It seems to be one good win, can't seem to follow it up. Fir Park hasn't been great for them this season. I think it's 1 point out of the last 4 home games. So they played Hearts here, you know, 8-9 weeks ago, and they lost heavily 3-1. So there's a few wrongs needed to be put right. I think performance has to improve. OK, both managers have made a couple of changes today, including Mark McGee. A couple of changes for him, one enforced because Scott McDonald, of course, suspended now. Lee Lucas also drops out. Zach Jules comes in, first start from him, on loan from Reading, and Lionel Ainsworth as well into that starting 11. And 2 changes for Hearts and Ian Cathro, 2 Greek players coming into the team. Tassos Avlanitis plays in place of Christian Novak. Alexandros Jolis in for Perry Kitchen. The captain on the bench today, Don Cowie, is captain. What do you make of that? Surprising? Well, it shows that Ian's not frightened to make big decisions. If he thinks the team needs changed, he thinks it needs freshened up, he thinks there's personnel in the background who are better than his starting 11, irrespective of whether you're captain. Well, if he's on the bench, you would suspect that. Because to me, if you're not fit to play any part of the game, you wouldn't be on the bench. So whether he's dropped these, you know, whether he's not, it's a big statement. But you know, if Ian thinks it's the right thing, he has to do it.
The Hearts back 4, just 12 appearances for the club between them. It's a new back 4. Yes, is that a problem, an issue?
Well, it worked well the other night, didn't it?
Yeah, Avlanitis coming in today, of course. OK, Shall we hear from both of the managers now? Ian Cathro and Mark McGee have been speaking to Ailey Barber.
Well, Mark, it's a first start for Zach Jules today in what looks like a back 3. Talk me how you set up.
Yeah, back 3. Yeah, I think you know, we want to play with a certain amount of caution. You know, they're strong up front. Last time at Tynecastle, the strikers gave us a difficult afternoon, so we're trying to kind of make sure that we have enough to cope with that. But at the same time, giving us enough in forward position. So it's not a 3-5-2. It's more of a 3-4-3. You know, so we still have Chris Cadden, Lionel Ainsworth, and Louis Moult in forward position. So we hope to be able to take plenty of the game to them.
Well, Ian, it must have been a happy camp since Wednesday night. Today, all about backing up that performance, and how much confidence has it brought to your side?
During the week was an important night for us. It was a positive thing, but you know, it ended at the time as well, and this game is its own thing, and it's entirely about what we do today. You
lose a bit in forward areas, of course, without Scott McDonald today. How big a miss is he in terms of what he brings to the team aside from his goals?
Well, we'll only know at the end. You know, Lionel Ainsworth is a player who, for me, should have spent his whole career as a striker. You know, I think that Lionel's got such attributes: his strength, his pace, his finishing power, you know, his ability to go past people. He's got it all as a striker. And I think he's been, personally, I think he's been wasted in wide areas. So he's going to get the opportunity through the middle today. So he's got it all. If he can deliver what he's been shown in training for the last, you know, month, then maybe we won't miss Scott at all. But of course, Scott is an important player to us.
A couple of changes for you today. Perhaps a surprise omission is Perry Kitchen. What's his situation?
We're in a situation where I think we've played 5 games, including 1 extra time, in something like 13 days. It's very difficult. One of the things that we wanted to do is to be able to bring options and have balance and have strength to be able to manage these things and keep our levels high. So there's nothing more to read into that than that.
All the best, Ian. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Keeping the levels high.
Good interview, wasn't it?
Yes, spoke very well again, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
I thought you would make that point. Look, interesting to see if they do kick on here. One of the key players again is Jamie Walker, who Ian Cathro has been talking a lot about the last couple of days, given the 2 goals midweek. He's basically saying he wouldn't swap him for any winger in Scotland.
Well, he's been Hearts' best player, hasn't he? You know, he's the one player, when you go to watch Hearts, he excites you. You know, I think certainly he's the one player that can take men on. He gets himself in the box. He's got great technique. You know, left foot, right foot. He can play either side. He can play in behind.
Where
so
do you think his best position is, Stephen?
I like him off the wide area, Chris. I think he can drift into the middle of the pitch. He can find great pockets of space. He can get himself turned and get at people. I think when he stays wide, he becomes a little bit isolated and sometimes drifts out of the game. So I think outside, coming into pitch and trying to play as a number 10 almost sometimes.
If they're going to play 4-4-2 like they did midweek, though, he's going to have to play off the wide, you would imagine.
Yes, he is. What I like about him, he's an all-rounder. He can see a pass. He can beat men. I mean, this was brilliant the other night. He'd read the ball out, poor from Rangers, but fantastic finish, and he has the ability to score all types of goals.
Scotland international sooner rather than later, do you think, guys?
Well, you would certainly think in the future. You know, it depends on Gordon Strachan. He's got Barry Mackay, he's got James Forrest, he's got lots of players in that area.
Form doesn't matter with Gordon.
No, well, indeed. And as for Motherwell, Lionel Ainsworth playing in a striker role today.
Well, Lionel's played in the
Mark
wide area.
prefers him as a striker, but he's played him out of the wing most of his career.
I think because he's had good strikers, he's never really had a chance to put him in. When Scott McDonald's fit and Louis Malt's fit, they will always play. So Lionel, I think he's tried to get him into the team, and he's almost had to play him as a wide player, but certainly he's better up front.
Talk about Motherwell playing with the back three today. What do you think suits Motherwell best, the 4 or the 3? I
like the way he's changing the team based on how Hearts done during the week. They were physical, they were strong, the front two were powerful.
OK, gentlemen, thank you very much. You're about to head up to comms. We better go to the break now. The game is just a few minutes away. Motherwell hoping to make it back-to-back league wins against the Hearts team, who are looking to record a victory on the road for the first time since September, would you believe? And that just so happens that came here at Fir Park. All the action next. It's raining here at Fir Park, so we're inside today, which is very good news. Down to 1 in the studio, so maybe not many more arguments, although the big man could probably argue with himself ahead of this one. But it's an important game for both teams, isn't it? For Motherwell, as I said, when you look at their fixture list, if they were to lose today, it's very difficult the next 2 away games as well. Yeah, and it's so tight in the table.
I mean, yeah, it is, and a win gets you up places. You lose a couple, and teams overtake you. So it's important, you know, that they win today. But from Hearts' point of view, their away record isn't great, is it? I think it's only the bottom 3 who have lost more away games than Hearts, but they made a statement in the week, and now they have to back it up.
That away record is surprising. If they're serious about getting back into the top 3 in the European places, they've got to improve on that now, don't they?
Absolutely, but now this is Ian Cathrow's team, isn't it? He had the excuse, you know, he made changes, eyebrows raised at the changes which he made, and the amount of changes. Now he has to go back to back.
Are you surprised he's changed the starting 11 today?
Well, what he's saying with that starting 11, leaving Kitchen out, and it is a surprise because he was brilliant the other night. He's saying, I have options now, I have strength in depth, but I'm pleased he's gone 2 up top again. I thought they both performed exceptionally well and gave the Rangers defence a torrid time the other night. He'll be hoping the same again today.
Chris, thank you very much indeed. As you can see, teams are ready there. So over to the very busy Stephen Craigan and Derek Ray.
Thank you very much, Darryl. Good afternoon, everyone. Round 24 in this Ladbrokes Premiership season about to get underway. And a meeting of 2 sides buoyed by midweek successes on Tuesday and Wednesday, respectively. Fir Park used to be seen as something of a bogey ground for Heart of Midlothian, but they were convincing 3-1 winners here on the last day of September, and also prevailed 3-0 against Motherwell at home on the 26th of November. Let's have a look at the 2 teams. Mark McGee makes a couple of switches from the 2-1 win at Ross County and a change of shape. Zach Jules comes in for his maiden start. The big defender on loan from Reading will be part of a back 3. There's also a place on the side for the pacey Lionel Ainsworth, Motherwell's most used substitute this season. Lee Lucas drops out. Scott McDonald begins a 2-match ban. Louis Malt has found the net in 3 of his last 4 games. Stephen Pearson, who this week joined the club for a 3rd time, is amongst the Motherwell substitutes. Hearts head coach Ian Cathro, on the back of the club's best display so far under his stewardship, makes 2 changes from Wednesday's 4-1 thrashing of Rangers. Tassos Avlonitis makes his first start. The former Olympiacos defender coming in for the man who opened the scoring in midweek, Christian Novak. There's a surprise in midfield where club captain Perry Kitchen drops to the bench. No shock, though, that Alexandros Jolis plays from the outset. The veteran Greek international impressed in his cameo against Rangers. The star man in that game, Jamie Walker, has netted 7 in his last 7. Stephen, let's talk tactics.
Well, the back three for Motherwell isn't unusual, Derek. You know, I haven't watched Hearts during the week. I'm not surprised that Mark has gone with the back three just to cope with the physical presence of Gonçalves and Johnson. So it doesn't surprise me. Scott McDonald missing is a huge blow, but a big boost is getting Lionel Ainsworth into the starting 11. With regards Ian Cathro on his side, I think formation and personnel are irrelevant. He just needs a performance like they had the other night. If they do, he'll feel confident they can win the game today.
So Mark McGee hoping to outwit Ian Cathro. The match referee is Andrew Dallas, son of Hugh Dallas. It's a foul day weather-wise in North Lanarkshire. Cold rain for the players to deal with. I think something's got to give, I say that, because Motherwell have been poor at home and Hearts have struggled on their travels. They both stood tall to stop the rot in midweek. Now Motherwell and Hearts share the same pitch this lunchtime. 6th plays 4th. Hearts are 10 points better off than the Steelmen. Well, Motherwell had a game in hand. Stevie Hamill on the home side. Interesting tactical setup favoured by Mark McGee, and Lionel Ainsworth could be a big part of the story as he tries to get on the ball over on that left-hand side. Touched by Don Cowie, who is the Hearts skipper, not for the first time. Perry Kitchen having to be content with a seat on the bench. Stephen McManus back the way to Craig Sampson. Stephen, what do you think will be important as this game progresses?
Well, even just standing from here, Derek, and just looking at the potential individual battles, you know, that I think that's the key for both managers. Go out and win your own battle. Don't get outrun, don't get out-jumped. That's got to be the message. You know, I think the Hearts front two were a handful the other night. Rangers couldn't cope, so can Hennigan, McManus, Jules, big test for them this afternoon.
As usual, it's Jack Hamilton between the posts for Heart of Midlothian. 7 clean sheets in 30 games altogether. Jules went up for it. It's faced by Björn Jonsson, who's made quite the impact with Hearts. Man who grew up in North Carolina. And the other fixtures today in the Ladbrokes Premiership. 3 o'clock kickoffs. But an early start here at Fir Park. Louis Moult. Set back away with ferocity. Jules and Craig Sampson. The pressure was being applied by Jonsson. It'll be a day for going back to front at times in this weather. No complaints though about the playing surface. We praised Paul Matthews before, the head groundsman here at Fir Park, but he does deserve all the plaudits that come his way. A pitch like this in February, just about unheard of.
Well, it almost forces you to pass the ball. You know, we saw Tynecastle the other night, Derek. It wasn't great, so you have to adapt your game, but it will certainly encourage passing football, that's for sure.
We certainly like that. Pete Lasley, collision there. Don Cowie, his direct opponent.
Well, it's just another one of those individual battles I'm talking about, with McHugh in there, Martin in there, Keith Lasley in there. It's going to be full of tackles, full of endeavour. It's about who can settle, who can get on the ball, who can keep possession and give their team a chance of getting up the pitch.
Only 3 home league wins for Motherwell this season. Going against Hamilton, Ross County and Partick Thistle. Got the heavy artillery forward here. It's played in there by Richard Tate. Ismael Gonçalves. He felt the contact from Tate. Former Grimsby Town player in his first season here at Motherwell.
He just gets a little bit too tight. You know, Gonçalves is a big player to get round, holds the ball well, protects it well. It's a decent enough foul. It's far enough away from Motherwell's goal.
No win wins in 8 away matches for Hearts. Fine control by Jonsson there. Gonçalves getting into the shooting position, didn't miss by all that much. Ismael Gonçalves, and only his second game for Hearts.
It was just simple football. It was just a long clearance from Jack Hamilton. Wasn't dealt with by the Motherwell defence, but you can't give Gonçalves that kind of space. He moves onto his favoured right foot. Greg Sampson doesn't move. You just feel as if it was on target, Derek. It would have nestled in the bottom corner.
Remember in 2013 when he was with St Mirren, he got off to that explosive start with 4 goals in his first 3 games. Did score against Hearts in the League Cup final that year. Flicked by Gonçalves. Looking to work something with Jonsson. He got tangled up. Andras Struna, the Slovenian right back. It was Lonitis who nipped in.
I was slightly concerned, Derek, about the energy levels of Hearts. You know, considering they only played on Wednesday night. Motherwell had an extra 24 hours to recover, and they put so much into it. You know, mentally it takes a lot out of you to play against the Old Firm, to get a victory. So I was just concerned slightly about the energy levels, but so far they've started quite well.
Louis Moult will let Stevie Hamill do the honours. Turns 35 in a fortnight. What a servant he has been to Motherwell this 563rd appearance this afternoon. The lively Chris Cannon up against Leonard Sowa. Used to play his football not so very far from here at Hamilton. Stretching out for it was Lasley. Here's the towering Jonsson. Dragging Ben Hennigan with him. Jonsson doing his best to split open the Motherwell defence. Hamill. Movement off the ball from Ainsworth and from Moult. McHugh just to the right of Stevie Hamill. Just recovered from that horrendous injury he picked up at the beginning of the campaign. It's a terrific pass. Richard Tate. Super ball it was! Oh, it's off the frame of the goal. Louis Moult, but offside. The flag had gone up just as that was developing.
And it's the first real passage of play that Motherwell have had. And Avlanites, he's no idea where Louis Moult is. First of all, Derek, he's not offside. The next question is, was it in anyway? No, it wasn't, but it's a huge let-off for Hearts. Avlanites square up, no idea where Louis Moult is. Terrific ball in by Richard Tate, and a big let-off for Hearts.
Only encouragement for the Steelmen. Questions asked of Avlonitis, 27-year-old Greek defender. Been without a club for a while after leaving Olympiacos. He was on loan in Austria last season at Sturm Graz. Almost 7 minutes in. Martin. Back from Jonsson. Valerie Martin does have an eye for a pass and a pretty fierce shot as well.
You think Hearts look a little bit more natural in their shape as it is, Derek. You know, Motherwell changing to the back three. Sometimes you can be a little bit unnatural for you. You know, it takes you 10, 15 minutes to find your space and your awareness of where you are. Where Hearts just seem to be a little bit more connected up at the minute. You know, their passing's better, their better movement.
Sablonitis. Joined the club on Monday, the 2 Greek players together and in the side together. Bonitis and Jolis, very good friends. Ainsworth, a bit of a hole on the Hearts defence. It's Moult and Sowa felt that one in the back of his head. Leonard Sowa.
I think Louis Moult would probably have been better trying to put his body in. You know, it's a clear foul. He clearly goes with his foot and kicks Sowa in the head. But you just, again, there's just a gap appearing in that Hearts back four. You know, sometimes only one change. You know, Novak dropped out from the game during the week and Avlanitis has come in. Sometimes it just unsettles people, and that was just another little incident.
Yeah, Castro, who's been a bit under the weather in the build-up to this game, struggling with a chest infection. What a performance by Hearts the other night against Rangers. Everything clicked. Moult. Switching play to Hamill. He's getting involved in the build-up once more. McHugh and Molt. It's quick-fire touches. Ambronides received it from Jolis. Alexandros Jolis. 62 times for the Greek national team. Jimmy Walker. Under a bit of pressure. Johnson looking to deceive Hennigan. For Hearts' last away game, they've got to go all the way back to the end of September, and the win here at Fir Park.
I think it's fair to say it's been tough for the new manager coming in. You know, coming in with such high expectation. The team in second place, results didn't initially go his way, but he'll have taken great heart from the other night, as will the players and the fans. But the key message has to be, Derek, it has to improve, it has to continue improving. They've set themselves the standard which they have to try and reach as often as they possibly can.
McGee in his second spell as Motherwell manager. This is 947th game as a football manager, full stop. That's longevity for you.
He always says he's seen it all and done it all. You know, even working with players, he's given days off, he's brought them in, he's done running, he's played matches, he's done everything, he said, so he's an experienced man.
Motherwell in sixth. I'm sure they would snap that up if someone had the power to offer it to them at the end of the campaign. It's so tight though, just 4 points ahead of Hamilton in 11th. Bit of a gap now. So you come to Inverness in the basement, but still plenty of time for things to spin around as they have done in the lower reaches of the table this season.
Everybody can see that sixth spot, Derek. That's the issue. You know, everybody's only 2, 3, 4 points away from it, which makes it so competitive. Sometimes it affects the football. It's not as free-flowing as what everybody would like, but certainly competitive.
Now Keith Lasley quickly onto the ball. Hamill. Zach Jules. Manners didn't want to take any risks. Sliced forward by Sampson. Walker for Hearts. Gonzalez. Sliding in was Hennigan. I suppose it is a day for a sliding challenge. Aaron Hughes just shepherding the ball out. Will be left to Leonard Sowa, keeping Faisal Reras out of this Hearts team. Although Reras is back from the Africa Cup of Nations. And so, German Ghanaian. Gonzalez does go Hearts' way.
It's interesting you talk about slide tackles, Derek. It's groundsmen's worst enemy is slide tackles. They hate having to put divots back in, so Paul Matthews won't be happy with Ben Hennigan.
Taken by Sowa. Walker. Pass by Jolis. Struna. Lasley away. Struna once more. Experienced January acquisitions by Heart of Midlothian. Sowa. Got the pass from Gonzalez. Still with Leonard Sowa. Behind for the corner by Sampson.
That's excellent play by Sowa. The fact that he plays the pass and doesn't stand still, he knows that Gonçalves has got the ability to find him. Great strength and pace. Craig Sampson just does a simple thing, make sure it doesn't go in, but an opportunity for Hearts to put the big boys in the box.
Honoré Martin to deliver the corner. Foot of Martin. When it comes to Gonçalves, didn't really get hold of it. He's pointing towards the corner flag, maybe somewhat optimistically. Let's see.
And Motherwell must just have sensed danger. Stevie Hamill just slightly drops him. It's a good touch, but Chris Cadden just does enough to put him off. Otherwise, he had a free shot at goal. So a little bit of a relief and let off for Motherwell there.
Craig Sampson left Kilmarnock in August of 2015. Lost his place to Jamie McDonald. A very capable keeper. Zach Jules. First Motherwell start for him. Defender on loan from Reading. Walker. Jules. And down goes Walker. Play continues. Jamie Walker for Hearts. And he takes on the shots. And it's all happened in a flash. Jules got himself into trouble.
And we shouldn't be surprised it's Jamie Walker. I think Zach Jules just got caught trying to take an extra touch. But there's the danger. Jamie Walker always sniffing out a chance, always alert, waiting for something to happen. Unlucky for him, ball just couldn't stay under the crossbar.
Andrew Dallas letting the play flow. They're scoring with almost 15 minutes on the clock. Meeting of these two sides this term. Scoring 3 goals in each of the 2 previous encounters, and it's the Midlothian with the slight possession edge here so far. That's our 4th in all in the Premiership in the possession stakes, averaging just under 52% per game. Headed out by Aaron Hughes. On the 9th of January, and it comes from Tate. Cadden fighting for it. Gonzalez. He's back there defending. Lasley. His turn to feed it in. It's away by Avlonitis for Hearts. Walker. Gonzalez. Down he goes. He was being followed by Tate. Richard Tate has come off second best, but free kick to Hearts. And the card is out here as well. So Richard Tate, not content with having picked up the knock, he's going to see yellow too.
I don't think there's any doubt it's a free kick and a yellow card. You know, I think the minute you tug somebody or pull their jersey or stop them getting forward, it's a great change of pace by Gonzalez. He just drops the shoulder, just moves the ball very quickly. So definitely a free kick and a yellow. And
that is going to mean a suspension for Richard Tate as well. 14-day rule, of course, here in Scotland. He's just collapsed in a heap once more. Could well be substitution time for Motherwell. We've got Jack McMillan at the ready. Richard Tate signed a 3-year deal with the club at the start of the season, rejected the offer from his previous club, Grimsby. And there it is. A change out of necessity. And on will come a player you know very well, Stephen, Jack McMillan.
Yeah, Jack's progressed well over the past 18 months. You know, even just on Richard, you think it must be something that's been lingering for a few weeks, Derek, because, you know, there wasn't an awful lot on that challenge to suddenly make a player go off. But great opportunity for young Jack to come on. I know he grew up as a Hearts supporter. I shouldn't really be saying that live on air, but he did. So great opportunity for him to come in and try and cement a place in the team.
It's all a professional business for McMillan now. Johnson trying to nod that one on. In the right wing-back position for Motherwell. Will be a suspension for Richard Tate in the near future. Doesn't happen in the next game under the rules here. Right injury we're hearing where Tate is concerned.
And again, sometimes that's just from playing maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday night, not getting the chance to recover, Derek, and you're still a little bit stiff. As we see another player free kick, Carl McHugh just arriving late on Joe Lees and Hearts free kick.
Second by Joe Lees. Gonzalez with Martin. Lasley doing his best to impose himself. He ends up winning the free kick and a shrug of the shoulders there from Martin.
Always the competitor, always full of enthusiasm and appetite, scrapping and fighting for everything, Derek. You know, you don't play to your, what age is last, 48? You don't play to your 48 for no reason.
I'm sure he'll hear that a bit later, Stephen. 37, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, yeah. I'm doing with this service. I think he's enjoying the rain because his hair's gone slightly black. It's always normally grey, so he'll be quite pleased with that today.
Stephen McManus from the back. Ainsworth hasn't really got into the game so far, Lionel Ainsworth for Motherwell. Jules. Andras Struda. So hit all the right notes on Wednesday to carry that performance into this game. Gonzalez was up there, Cowie, but a swarm of Motherwell defenders in the vicinity. And here's Moult now. He had it taken away from him by Martin.
And he just looks a little bit isolated at times, Louis Moult. You know, he's used to having someone like Scott McDonald round about him, going on and linking up the play, and he can play in the last line of defence. So today he's having to do both, and at the minute I think he's just getting caught in between.
Struda. Joris. Martin. Gonzalez. Space here for Jamie Walker. So that low ball in. Walker. It just clips the side of the net. It's another attempt though from Jamie Walker for Hearts.
And it's good play again, you know. So down this left-hand side, marauding forward, good ball in, but you know when the ball lands at Jamie Walker, there has to be a sense of danger. He can move the ball off the line, right foot, left foot, really unlucky in hitting the side net.
Quick reminder about BT Sport Score, which is on the air at 2:30. That's on BT Sport 1. Keep you abreast of what's happening throughout the afternoon football-wise. And Tottenham against Middlesbrough, 5 o'clock BT Sport 1 and 4K UHD in the Premier League. Not sure Aaron Hughes wanted it from Jack Hamilton. Now Jules and Sampson. Nick Lasley's header. Decidedly unfriendly Saturday afternoon here in North Lanarkshire. Gonzalez, I think with his approval certainly.
It's kind of difficult to see where the free kick is there, Derek, isn't it, sometimes? But Gonzalez certainly wasn't happy at all. But listen, he's a competitor, he puts himself about, he's going to fight and scrap all afternoon. That's exactly what Hearts need.
Rory Moult, as Hennigan took the free kick. Moult tried to get into the advanced position. Gonzalez and Hennigan right on top of him. Nicely with Martin. Up goes Hughes. Cowie. Look for Struna to his right. Martin. Jolis. Pass it was by Struna. So looked for Walker. Martin. Here's Cadden now. Martin. Andrew Dallas had a very good view. Free kick.
It's just another free kick and a concession of scrappy fouls and the game being broken up, and there's no real rhythm to it at the minute.
Moult for Hamill. Stevie Hamill. With by Amblonitis. This is Jules. McManus. He did his best, McMillan, to keep that in. Those quick steps. Hearts throw it'll be, to be taken by Sowa.
I think that's the part of the game that Mark McGee will be disappointed in, the fact that they've had easy possession at times, Motherwell, and they've given it up cheaply. They haven't played the right pass, whereas Hearts probably have settled better. Their passing's a little bit better, but I'm sure both managers will expect a little bit more from the team.
Walker. Such a stylish performer. Now Martin. Space opens up for Struna. Johnson beyond him. Gonzalez waiting inside the box. Walker's there as well. Bjorn Johnson. Well, he's done very well. And Walker just couldn't keep the ball. Silva. All the way through. McMillan was in position. Don Carey. It's the scorers against Rangers on Wednesday for Hearts. Hamilton misses out in the midfield area. Finnegan elected to play that. That would have been the wisest decision.
There's some question marks of whether there was a foul on Jamie Walker. There was certainly contact. You know, I'm not too sure Carl McHugh was guilty of actually making contact on Walker. It was more Walker onto Carl McHugh. So Jamie Walker has been cited in the past for potentially simulation. So that must have been in the back of his mind.
No one really asked the question out there on the pitch. This is Sowa. Hennigan forward. Aaron Hughes. McManus. The importance of waiting the pass perfectly not lost on the experienced Stephen McManus. It's just 4 wins from the last 14 league games for Hearts. They want to pick me up against Rangers. They may get back-to-back league victories, we shall see. Left there by Matin for Jolis. Cowie, Sowa. Cowie again with Leonard Sowa. Cadden. Assisting with defensive duties. And it's a Motherwell ball. Gonzalez didn't see it that way.
Well, they certainly look comfortable in possession, Hearts. You know, it's just that final thing at the top end of the pitch, Derek, of that final cross or final shot, but certainly the build-up play. And a lot of it was coming through Jolis, who's just dropping in between the two central defenders, linking up the play, getting on the ball. You know, that's the way Ian Cathro sees his team playing, then for certain parts they've done well.
Struna. He's looking to vary things. He's behind Johnson. Ben Hennigan, quite the find by Motherwell. It's all Mancunian. Tried in tune from Chester. Well, not afraid to go to that well. Non-league football in England. Time with Lasley. Play on here. Gonzalez. Hennigan. Familiar position for him. Gonzalez goes back in for it. Struna and Matin, and now Walker. Jules tight by the touchline. Mallory Matin. Struna and now Jamie Walker. Tripped up. Clear. Foul, a yellow card as well here. This is what happened.
The game just came alive for a couple of minutes. There was a couple of tackles, the ball moved quickly. Good feet by Jamie Walker. You know if he gets a little bit of space, he's going to manipulate the ball very, very well. Keith Lasley and Steve McManus both come in at the same time. Not too sure who it was that made the contact.
Lasley sees yellow. What can Hearts do from this set-piece situation? Hearts are the best team in the Ladbrokes Premiership when it comes to cashing in at set plays. 14 Hearts goals in the lead from set pieces this term. They have quite a formidable free kick taker in Mallory Matin, one of the newer recruits. They all break away, and it's left to Matin. A bit awkward for Sampson.
I think always on a slippy surface, Derek, you have to try and test the goalkeeper. It's a perfect bounce right in front of him. Sampson has to move his feet, get across his goal. He just bends it around the outside of the wall. Very, very clever. Another attempt and goal. Sampson comfortably putting it around for a corner.
So once again, Malo Martin. Jolis. Here's Hughes. Struna. The header directed towards goal by Adlonitis. Not troubling Sampson that time. Sampson is going to be trying to feed it left to Louis Moult. The desired outcome. Punishing February for Hearts. Difficult fixtures. Wilson's offside here. Remember, they've got the Scottish Cup meeting with Hibs coming up next. 8 days from now.
It's Chris and Darrell. I always say that when we come here, Derek, but I just have to continue to say it.
That was going to get out with McHugh. Struna. Adlonitis for Hamilton. Inside the final 15 minutes of the first half. Martin, and now Hughes. Here's Sowa. Walker. Struna. Stamped away by Hennigan. Struna was draped all over Ainsworth. There's Adlonitis, gets it away there, McHugh and Ainsworth. Can be a very effective counter-attacking player. Cadden has the line to go after it, but Sowa is ushering it through to Hamilton. Jolis. That one takes off. And I hope you've been enjoying Scottish Football Extra, whether coming to you live from the North Sea or various other locations. And we look forward to bringing you more of that ahead of Inverness County Thistle against Rangers. Friday the 24th of February, 7:15, BT Sport 1. The match build-up. Hamilton against Aberdeen, Tuesday the 28th of February, 7:30, BT Sport 1. Here's Walker. Touch was by Cowie. Louis Moult. Sowa. Walker, and now Gonsalves. The important block was by Jules. Carrying the game to Motherwell more and more.
It was nice play again, wasn't it? It was all one-touch stuff, players in the same wavelength, just playing off each other all the time. So excellent play. Gonsalves' ball just opened up, didn't get the shot on target. Good play.
Jamie Walker offside, and out comes the yellow card as he kicked it towards goal. The decision had already been taken, so booking for Walker.
I agree it's a booking, Derek, but I think the frustration amongst players, fans and staff of football clubs is that not everybody gets the same treatment. You know, the rule states if you kick the ball away after the referee's blows whistle, it's a yellow card, so he's playing by the letter of the law. However, it doesn't always apply, which is a huge frustration.
Frank Sampson hasn't missed a minute of action this season. Here's Ainsworth inside the box. They'll have him quickly for Motherwell. McHugh, whistle's gone, handball. Sporadic attacking thrusts from Motherwell. Was that one good chance for Louis Moult? He struck the woodwork. This header, but the offside flag was up. Now Jonsson, Struna. Motherwell defenders trying to get back into their positions. Andras, Struna for Hearts. spinning out for the throw.
Johnson really is a handful when he's on his day, isn't he? You know, his movement, his touch, his awareness. You know, he's really technically gifted, as well as a strong running power. So excellent play all round from him.
Struna winds himself up for the long throw. Jules, Struna, second chance. He's down immediately. Jules was in the vicinity. Andras Struna comes from quite the footballing family. His brother Aliash, currently in Italy with Carpi, Serie B. Hamill wasn't too particular about where he sent it. A little bit more than 10 minutes to go to half-time. Motherwell and Hearts to kick off the Ladbrokes Premiership programme on this Saturday. Hughes. Avlonitis. Struna. Walker in his pocket picked by Lasley. Lasley again, distributing. Was unable to bring the ball under control, McMillan.
Yeah, he's had a tough start. There's been a few times the balls came to him. He's looked a little bit nervous, a little bit edgy, which is surprising because he's normally a confident kid. But I think it just sums up Motherwell. You know, they get 3-4 passes and then they give it away, or somebody has a poor touch. Whereas Hearts just look fluent. You know, they pass the ball well, they move well, and their connection all over the pitch is very, very impressive.
Out to Jamie Walker. So what? Tidy defending. And so whose contract at Hamilton was up. Hearts swooped. Björn Jonsson. And again, and it's going to be Samson's ball. Cowie attempted to make it interesting.
Just that moment you thought that Don Cowie was just going to nick in, Derek, but Ben Hennigan, I'm sure, will say they had it under control.
Moult. Ainsworth in pursuit of it. Some genuine pace. Lionel Ainsworth offside here. Jack Hamilton was an unused substitute for Scotland at Wembley against England in November. And through the youth ranks at Stenhousemuir initially. Moved to Hearts at the age of 16 with his brother Colin, who's now at Arbroath. Motherwell having to go without Scott McDonald. Significant loss. The legacy of his red card against Rangers. By Ainsworth. And it has, Stephen, meant a bit of a shuffling around of personnel, I think it's fair to say. The fact that McDonald's not playing.
Yeah, and it's difficult because, you know, Mark McGee's almost went like for like by size and stature of Lionel Ainsworth and Scott McDonald, but, you know, they couldn't be any more different because Scott links up the play ever so well. Lionel wants to play in the last line of defence and run in behind, so you'd probably say in the first 35 minutes it hasn't really worked. But Lionel always has that threat. He loves playing in front of the cameras. He loves playing here at Fir Park, so he's got that little moment of brilliance to switch it on sometimes.
Moult. There's Avlonitis. Swanigan's header. He's going to get back into position now. Martin. Cut out by McManus. He was covering up with Hennigan all the way forward. Ian Cathro, what a difference a game can make. So many positive headlines for Hearts on the back of what we saw on Wednesday. Hearts were as devastating as Rangers were dismal on the night.
I think what Hearts done well, Derek, was they mixed the game up. You know, it wasn't all total football. Sometimes they went back to front. And Johnson and Gonsalves give them a great base to go and play from. You know, really well backed up by Cowie and Walker, as expected.
This is a different sort of challenge for Hearts on this Saturday. Lasley takes it. Silva's header. There's McMillan backpedaling. Gonçalves. Well, the whistle has gone. Gonçalves hasn't been too happy with officialdom so far. Handball here.
I don't think you can really argue with that. You know, it's always a difficult one when the ball bounces over a defender's shoulder and he's not too sure where the centre forward is, but the fact that he's came forward and put his two hands up, then Andrew Dulles got the decision spot on.
Cadden. His raids have been restricted by Heart of Midlothian. Cowie, and he's given it straight to Lasley. Cadden. And on Don Cowie, corner here coming up for Motherwell. It's the first of the game for the Steelmen. Speak about Hearts' strength at set plays. Motherwell, one of the weaker teams in that regard. Just 5 goals from set pieces in the league this term. Only Kilmarnock have poorer statistics. A bit of back and forth inside the 6-yard box. Certainly a crowded scene in there. It's going to be Hamill. Stevie Hamill with it. Jack Hamilton unable to hang on to the ball. Ainsworth, and it's off the line by Avlanitis. Last man back for Hearts.
And a huge let-off, and it's obviously a ploy that Motherwell have, because they must have saw Jack Hamilton during the week as well.
Here's Hamill with a header down. McMillan and McHugh. There's too much height on the shot from Carl McHugh.
And it's a little bit better for Motherwell, putting a little bit of pressure on the Hearts, trying to get that breakthrough. Colin McHugh just couldn't get over the ball, and this is a Lionel Ainsworth chance. From the corner kick, all the players surrounding the goalkeeper. Avlanitis just does enough to keep it off the line, but you know, just on the corner kick itself, I think it was just the fact they surrounded Jack Hamilton. He's not the biggest of presence. They're just putting bodies around, trying to put him off a little bit, and it almost worked.
Hearts have been the more compelling side, but Motherwell biting back just then. 0-0 it remains. McManus directing the header towards Cadden. McMillan. Lasley. McHugh. There's Zach Jules now for Motherwell. Stevie Hamill, Avlanitis, and it's Cowie. Sliced away by Struna in the end. Gonçalves is waiting for the ball to bounce. Hennigan's header. McHugh. Avlanitis just before was able to get to it. Soa. Walker and Jonsson. Underweight of the pass, with Struna available to his right.
Yeah, it was just a little bit sloppy, you know, the whole right-hand side was open for Hearts, just a pure pass. After me earlier on giving Johnson a big up. Big up.
Malt, to get the break of the ball, Ainsworth and Malt again, and then the foul. And there will be a yellow card as well. Martin was pleading his case. Andrew Dulles decided very swiftly.
My first instinct was, Derek, it was Lionel Ainsworth that tripped him up. I'm not too sure. It is. You know, Martin's not really involved in the play. I'm guessing it's just because he stepped over him. So, wouldn't it be ironic that one of your own players brings you down and you get the opening goal?
What can Motherwell conjure? Just a couple of minutes remaining in the first half. Looks as though Louis Malt fancies it. What sort of test is in store for the Hearts defence here? Louis Malt, Motherwell's top scorer this season, and Malt! Oh, it wasn't a million miles away.
I'm guessing everybody thought that he was going to try and go to Jack Hamilton's right-hand side. He goes to goalkeeper's side. Sometimes goalkeepers take a little step towards the ball and leave that side open. He was certainly full stretch, and this is the free kick that we feel should not have been a free kick for Motherwell. So Andrew Dallas will be breathing a huge sigh of relief.
A harsh booking for Mallory Martin.
I think you can appeal that, Derek, can you? That'd be interesting. I'm sure Hearts will inquire about it.
Touch shown by Jonsson. Alan Burrows, the general manager of Motherwell, because they did appeal against the Scott McDonald decision without success. Struna. There goes Jonsson. Will be just the one added minute. Ainsworth. Hamill and Cadden was in space, but he felt he was unable to touch the ball anyway. Malt's not happy.
I think Louis Malt's convinced he was caught with an elbow, but I think Avenites has every right to jump for the ball. You have to put your arms up. I think Louis' arms are up. Just feels a little bit hard done by because his jaw's probably gone a little bit numb.
First half ebbing away. Gonzalez. McManus. Hugh helping out. Let's come off McManus last of all. There will be time for this Hearts corner. Melody Martin will be the man responsible. Martin with it. Andrew Dallas has spotted the foul, and again the question from Gonzalez, who, me? Half-time here at Fir Park. The Hearts, the more forceful team, although Motherwell have had their moments. That Louis Moult free kick just on the cusp of half-time went narrowly wide. Jamie Walker with a couple of efforts for Hearts, but defences on top. It is Motherwell 0, Heart of Midlothian 0.
Welcome back to Fir Park. Looks as if there's a bit of love in the air there. No goals, unfortunately, for us. 0-0 at half-time. Let me tell you, tomorrow at 6:30 on BT Sport 2, it's the European football show, and right after that from 7:30 from Serie A, Juventus against Inter. Good-looking game there. Chris Sutton is here to mull over that first half. No goals, a few chances for each team. Who's had the better of that half, do you think?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Because Hearts... maybe they've got a bit of a hangover, if you like, from the other night. They haven't been good enough going forward. I think that Jonsson has been a little bit isolated. Gonçalves has hung out on that left-hand side, and we saw in the week at Rangers, when they played closer together, off each other, that they were far more of a threat. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ian Castro tweaks things a little bit.
Motherwell have had a couple of chances in the game. Louis Moult being involved in both of those. One a free kick after a yellow card that should never have been a yellow card for Martin.
I mean, that's absolutely ridiculous from Andrew Dallas. Like father, like son. I mean, that is, what is he seeing there? I mean, crazy decision. I can't tell you,
they can't appeal that one because it comes under the rule of mistaken identity, and that is a mistake.
It is a huge mistake. I mean, it's clearly brought down by his own player. You never know with the independent panel, though, Darryl.
Yes, indeed, and if he ends up getting sent off today, my word, that could be important, couldn't it? Of course, the free kick coming afterwards as well, and Moult has been involved today. Without McDonald, he is the danger man, isn't he?
He is, and you know, he's a goal scorer. He's unlucky with this free kick. I think Hamilton may just... He takes a step to his right, but I just think he may have had that one covered. He shouldn't gamble in that situation. but Malt trying to beat him on his side.
It's clear they want to get the ball into the box to him as soon as possible. Earlier on, he hit the woodwork and it was actually offside, but it wasn't. This one should have been allowed to continue. He didn't cross the line, but it shows the threat that he has.
Yeah, and he takes up a good position. I think Struner, the right back, he's trying to play Malt offside, really lazy. You could say that the centre half, you can see he's just onside. The assistant shouldn't get that wrong. He's in line. It's a really poor decision.
He's unlucky with the header as well, isn't he?
He is, and he does the right thing. He goes back across the goalkeeper, and he's desperately unlucky. But really poor officiating this afternoon, Darryl.
Corner here. Hamilton coming out for it.
And Stephen Craigan made the point quite rightly in commentary. It's a good point that the other night against Rangers, he doesn't show any conviction from crosses, Hamilton. He's hesitant, and Motherwell would have seen that, and that's why they're loading the ball in at the earliest opportunity.
OK, Chris, thank you very much for now. No doubt the Hearts have bossed this fixture so far this season. 2 wins, 6 goals in the process. I'm not sure you can actually read that with the hat that far down. Anyway, let's hope we see some goals in the second 45. We are hoping for a goal here in the second half at Fir Park. We're just wondering about the way Hearts are going forward and attacking today. Do you think with Sam Nicholson on the bench, maybe if they get him on, it could help Jonsson putting balls into the box for him?
Yeah, he came on the other night and was bright. And Chowley as well, he's another option. Came on at Celtic Park, didn't he, and slotted a nice ball through. So an exciting talent. And it looks like he's coming on.
That is indeed the man. Can you say his full name?
No, but you're the man to say.
Uriachi Chowley.
Well, so you clearly can't say his full name. He wants to be known as Chowley. So this is a big half, isn't it? And we
technically good player. Came through the Barcelona Academy.
The Barcelona Academy. That's a new team, Darryl.
Sometimes they go from Barcelona to Arsenal.
Yeah, they do. But no, it's a big half for Hearts, isn't it? They want to carry on that momentum. They've been a little bit lacklustre in the first half. It's important they get the 3 points, and that's a big half for Hearts.
It is. And what do you think Mark McGee will be saying in there right now? Continue to get the ball into Bolt as soon as possible. Maybe bring Stephen Pearson on at some point.
He's got that option, that experience. I mean, Stephen spoke about him maybe playing on the left-hand side. He hasn't the pace which he has had. I think you'll see Stephen Pearson in more of a central role. But I mean, it's going to be interesting, the second half, and I have to say I expect far more from both teams. It was pretty lacklustre, Darryl, the first half.
Are Motherwell missing Scott McDonald here?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, every transfer window, Scott McDonald talks about him leaving the club. I don't know whether he sets these things up himself, and then all of a sudden he stays at the last moment. But he is a quality football player. You want someone like him on your team. He causes riots, doesn't he, everywhere he goes, Scott, but he's a good football player. He sees a pass, can make a pass. He's very, very influential.
Good news. Here come Motherwell. Back over to Stephen Craigan and Derek Ray.
Thank you, Darryl and Chris. Let me first of all correct the pair of you on the pronunciation of the Hearts substitute. It is Choulé. So there we go. Moha El Uriachi Choulé, the Moroccan. Had come through the Barcelona Youth Academy at La Masia. Exciting player. Bjorn Jonsson hasn't re-emerged for this second half. Motherwell certainly kept Hearts waiting for the extra minutes in the dressing room. It will be Keith Lasley and company attacking the goal to our left in this second half. Away they go. Launched forward by Ben Hennigan. Scoring in the first 45. A paucity of good goal-scoring chances. Flicked by Gonzalez. Straightforward catch for Jack Hamilton. Hennigan. Lasley. We run through the Motherwell side for you again. Jamie Walker. Slick play. Walker and off Carl McHugh behind for the Hearts corner.
It's a slight change of shape and formation for for Hearts, and that's why Jamie Walker's on the left-hand side. He's gone from the right over to the left. I think they've gone with the 4-3-3, so that will expose Jamie Walker, I think, coming inside the pitch and trying to be stronger on his right-hand side.
Good by Martin. Well, it fizzles out. Just to go back to the Martin incident at the end of the first half, Stephen, and we have clarified it with the SFA. An appeal can be lodged in the event of mistaken identity. Of course, when you think of mistaken identity, you tend to think that it would be somebody of the same side, not from a different team. But there do appear to be grounds for an appeal. And with experiments going on as regards video assistance in various countries, of course, that's one that could be picked up straight away on the video. And the VAR, as they're known, the video assistant referee. Here's Walker, now Gonzalez, and Walker again. It's away by Hamill. Hughes with a header. Stuna.
You would hope common sense would prevail, Derek. You know, I think it was quite clearly it wasn't a yellow card, so you'd hope the SFA or whoever's involved in the decision making would clear Martin off the yellow.
Alexandros Jolis, former German Cup winner during his time with Werder Bremen, 2009 when they beat Leverkusen in the final. And that's Sowa, born in Germany. Ben Hennigan responsible for the throw. In front of the Motherwell boys, who are always in good voice. Loudest part of Fir Park, at East Stand. Jolis, Martin, Sowa, Larry Martin, Gonzalez. Jules sticking to his task. Now here's Lasley for Motherwell. The search might be on, using Cadden. Let's keep the shape defensively, but Hamill with the opportunity to pass out to that right-hand side to McMillan. As he scampers forward, Jack McMillan. Hughes using all his experience.
Yeah, it was good play. You know, eventually they got the ball into a wide area where they could get a cross in. Cross wasn't great from McMillan, good defending from Hearts, but Motherwell winning it back, just trying to put a little bit more intensity into their play, in possession and out of possession.
McHugh. Could be that Lee Lucas will come on shortly for Motherwell. That's an interesting ball. It was close to it. It was played in there by Cadden.
It's a couple of dangerous balls to put in, but you know, Hearts haven't really been tested defensively this afternoon. You know, Alvanites and Aaron Hughes have been quite comfortable. Jolis continually dropping in and trying to make that two-man central defence into a three-man at times.
Walker, Martin. From the Côte d'Azur. Through the Monaco youth system. Gonzalez, the idea was more than decent. Walker running at the Motherwell defence. Chule back to Ablonitis.
I think with the change of shape of Hearts, it's almost pushing Motherwell's right wing back Jack McMillan, Motherwell's left wing back Stephen Hamill back into a back five, which has given the midfield of Hearts even more space to play in.
Stevie Hamill might have picked up a knock as we watch Sowa. McMillan for company. Brighter skies now here in North Lanarkshire. The appeal by Gonzalez. He has spent quite a bit of this game asking questions of the referee. Jules Cadden. making that strong run. Moult and Ainsworth in the centre. He does hold on, Hamilton. 0-0.
That's good counter-attacking again, you know. Jules just stepping forward and showing his physical prowess and his pace just to get Gonzalez off the ball. Disappointing cross from Chris Cannon. I think he was expecting Louis Moult to make the front post run. Louis Moult peeled away.
Mata. Amponisis. Showing for it, Gonzalez. Jules not giving Gonzalez much room in which to work. Radiant sunshine now. Hamill, but nodded down by Struna. Didn't work out for Mata. McHugh, and then returned by Jolis. Gonzalez and Cowie. Oh, he was cleaned out there. Now the card is coming out, and it is red. Well, he didn't really hesitate. Andrew Dallas, Carl McHugh, fully committed, he'll say. Maybe a big turning point in this match.
I'm not convinced that can be red, Derek. You know, he plays through the back of the ball. I'm convinced Carl McHugh goes through the back of the ball. If he gets a yellow card, maybe, but to be fair, when you see it slowed down, I don't think there's any intent to go in and hurt, but Andrew Dallas was quick on the spot. He was searching for his right hand pocket. He was going for red almost immediately to see if it was going to be red.
Scott McDonald, who wasn't best pleased about his red card against Rangers, and now it's the long, lonely walk off the pitch for Carl McHugh. Andrew Dallas deciding that that was excessive force. That's what the referee has got to consider. Was it reckless, which would be a yellow, or excessive force, a red? He thought the latter.
It's when you come off the ground and your studs are showing in full speed, and from that angle it looks not too bad. When you see Carl McHugh going in, there is a slight touch in the ball. Of course, then there's the excessive force you talk about and following through to the player. You know, the Motherwell player still asking. I'm still not convinced. I wouldn't be content if I was a player getting sent off for that.
We told you that Stevie Hamill was struggling a bit, and he is going to be taken off at this juncture with Lee Lucas coming on. 24-year-old Welshman. Don Cowie on the receiving end. Electronic board is being held aloft, so that Motherwell could make their personnel change. That is indeed it for Stevie Hamill. So Lee Lucas to come on, his 10th appearance of the season. 4th substitute appearance for Lucas.
One thing Lee gives you is composure on the ball, Derek. You know, he's came through Swansea and he's good in possession of the ball. He makes passes on the ball.
Stephen Pearson waiting. And Pearson will come on as well for Lionel Ainsworth. Motherwell. Pearson after his stint in India with Atletico Kolkata. Terrific professional he's been. Motherwell, his previous stints. Ainsworth didn't really set the header on fire. So Pearson on as well. That's it for Motherwell on the substitutions front. Valerie Martin eyes the target. Deciding to play it in towards Walker. Something Hearts have been working on at Rickerton in training.
Yeah, you can see it, you know, Jack McMillan ends up 3v1 at the back post, so it almost worked for them. They're trying something different, but Motherwell have changed their shape now, Derek. They've gone to a 4-4-1. You know, the pace of Stephen Pearson, the energy of Pearson, and the ability of Lee Lucas in midfield to try and connect up the play and keep the ball better.
Could easily have been a mix-up there, but Aaron Hughes succeeded in heading it back to Jack Hamilton. And here's Jolis, and now Struna. Gonzalez. Chile has got a bit of a lonely figure so far since coming on. Well, down to 10, the ordering off of Carl McHugh. A big talking point in the early phase of this second half. The present Carl McHugh was hoping for. At the eve of his milestone. There's Cannon. McMillan to throw it back in play for the 10 men of Motherwell. Molt. Keith Lasley. Pearson attacking it. There's a speculative shot from Lucas.
It was decent play, but you know, it just means the importance of Keith Lasley and Lee Lucas. They have to get forward. They try and have to get up and support Louis Molt, Stephen Pearson off the left, Chris Cadden off the right. They have to show lots of energy and lots of enthusiasm to try and support Molt.
Hearts in search of the first away win since the end of September. Last triumph on the travels came here. Walker. And onto Midlothian, pass the way through. Struna. Chule. Showing for it, Martin. It's a fine ball, Struna. Bubbles around in there. It's going to be a corner.
And they will get lots of possession. You know, it's about trying not to be wasteful, about taking that extra pass, taking care of the ball. Eventually you'll get a runner in behind you. It was good place and play by Hearts. An opportunity.
Chule. Struna. Chule. Creating room for himself. All hands on deck for Motherwell. Struna now. Misdirected. Sowa. Jolis from a long way out, big deflection there, and just like that, it goes in. Alexandros Jolis. In his first start for Hearts, Samson can do nothing about it. Deceived by the ricochet, and Hearts, looking for the first away win since September, are in front at Fir Park.
And just when you need that little bit of luck to make the breakthrough. There's no pressure on the ball. He has one, he has 2 touches in his 3rd shot. The unfortunate player is Keith Lasley. Doesn't just get out close enough probably to block the shot, and the ball just whips up into the air. Craig Sansom can't move. He's isolated 7 or 8 yards from goal, and the breakthrough comes. Hearts have been dominating possession, moving the ball well from an unlikely source. They won't care. The ball's in the back of the net.
Well, there you have it. Alexandros Jolis letting fly. It came off Keith Lasley. Got a feel for Craig Samson. Motherwell flying onto the front foot. Cannon and away by Ablonitis. Perry Kitchen's going to come on for Hearts shortly. Motherwell chasing this game and down to 10 men. Cannon. It was a lovely play. Hughes. Lasley for Lucas. It's a poor pass from the Welshman. There he is, Perry Kitchen, the club captain. Controversially left out of the starting 11 today. Played 5 times for the US national team. Certainly hoping to catch the eye of Bruce Arena, who's in charge again, 2nd time in his career.
Martin has been booked, Derek. I wonder, is that playing the mind of the management staff of thinking, just in case the referee ends up evening it up, or Martin ends up getting the second booking, just sensible management potentially.
Slipped there by Walker. Well, trying to drive forward again. Using Cadden. Lucas. Feed there by Lee Lucas. So cuts it out. Cowie. So what? Hennigan. And it's Hennigan working with Lucas and now McManus. Tall order here for Motherwell. They picked up just 1 point from the last 3 home games. Lastly, a long bursting run. McMillan. That's all he could do, realistically.
Strangely, Motherwell seem actually to be playing better with 10. You know, they're moving the ball better, they're keeping it a little bit better.
There's a change now, Stephen, and it will be Terry Kitchen for Mallory Martin. Picked up the booking, as we discussed earlier, just before half-time. It's very unfortunate to be cautioned. His afternoon is over. And Terry Kitchen will slide into that central midfield position. Ian Castro thanking the Frenchman for his efforts. Soa. Lasley. BT Sport score with you from 2:30 on BT Sport 1 this afternoon. All the updates that you'll need on Tottenham against Middlesbrough from 5, BT Sport 1 4K UHD. Live action from the Premier League in England. So being asked to take it again. Cowie went up for it. There's Hennigan. Haven't seen enough construction from Motherwell, really, Stephen.
Well, I think, you know, I'd said since they went to 10, you know, we've seen a lot of energy from Chris Cadden. Jack McMillan's got forward. Stephen Pearson willing to get up and down. So sometimes it reinvigorates you when you go down to 10. You feel hard done by, and suddenly you start pushing yourself a little bit more. So since that's happened, I think they've looked a better side.
So what? It's going to be meat and drink to McManus. And again, moving Sampson into it. It's going to be McMillan to take this for Motherwell. Got it back from Louis Moult. Lasley. A shot by Walker.
And Hearts have slightly lost their way, Derek. You know, up until the goal, they were dictating possession, they were playing extra passes. Just now, it seems to be a little bit scrappy. They haven't got the rhythm back. They give up a couple of cheap passes, which has put them on the back foot without being under real pressure. You know, they certainly have wrestled the game away from themselves.
Lee Lucas. Takes the free kick. And it comes to Lasley. Oh, he was willing it in. Close.
Doesn't score very many goals, Keith Lasley. Normally they go from distance. When they do go in, his hands in his head. He thought it was in the bottom corner. Jack Hamilton hadn't moved, but just a little warning shot for Hearts. They have to up their game.
23 goals for Keith Lasley in his long Motherwell career. 477th game for the club. He has netted 3 times against Hearts before. That's the one that got away, as far as Hamilton is concerned. He was going up for it. Cadden, Bonitis, straight to Lucas. This was by McManus. I think Jules will be thanking him for that. Gonzalez. Walker is never going to get there. The official attendance, 4,651. Down on the last time, having these two teams at Fir Park. Struna. Jolis. Kitchen. Talking to a few Hearts supporters after the game on Wednesday, they felt it was Paddy Kitchen's finest match in a maroon shirt, so far at any rate.
I would agree, Derek. I was quite surprised with the change today, the fact that he left Perry Kitchen out, because I felt as if he was at his best. He was breaking up play, he was taking the ball over, he looked comfortable. So for him not to play, but Ian's in charge, that's why he gets paid the most money.
And he does have quite a big squad now. He's going to have to make decisions like that from game to game. Jamie Walker is being pushed right. So with Walker. Support offered by Chule. And now Struna. Jolis. Walker. And Cowie switching the point of attack at Sowa. Perry Kitchen leaving it for Gonzalez. Fluency from Hearts, but the chance goes a-begging.
And that could almost have been the game, Derek. You know, that was better from Hearts, making 9, 10, 11 passes, slow build-up. Gonçalves just spins in the box, just a little miss-hit cross, just a little deflection off Perry Kitchen. Great turn, great movement. The frustration in his face tells you he feels like he should have put that in the back of the net.
Well, the second Hearts goal might have the effect of finishing off Motherwell once and for all, but the door remains ajar for the Steelmen, albeit they are down to 10. Ordering off of Carl McHugh.
Because when you play 10, Derek, you know, you want to take this thing out of the game. You want to try and take the game away from the 10 men, but, you know, just missing that chance, it keeps them alive, exactly what you say. Just gives Motherwell a little bit of encouragement. There's still 22 minutes plus injury time to go.
Cowie back the way to Hughes. Gonzalez. This is gone. And Motherwell free kick. Again, Gonzalez looking a bit perplexed. McManus goes up to be one of the aerial targets for Lucas.
This is one of your opportunities, you know, when you want to get 10 men, you've got to put the big guys up. The delivery's got to be good. Give your teammates a chance to get in the end of it.
Hearts have conceded 10 goals from set pieces in the league this term, as Lucas tries to test Hamilton, who flapped at that one. Away by Hughes. We've seen that from Jack Hamilton a couple of times today, and of course once in midweek against Rangers as well.
He's not comfortable at all, Derek. You know, sometimes we criticise goalkeepers for punching rather than trying to catch. I think Jack Hamilton should be the other way.
Well, the charge on here for Hearts, it's Cowie. And put the wind up McMillan.
Because, you know, he gets first contact in the ball, so he wonders he better just go in with a fist and just making sure he clears his lines. He's obviously not comfortable catching under pressure. Take the pressure away from yourself and make it go some distance.
And let's get on with it. And Walker, that was worth the Buffett goal. Inside the final 20 minutes. Can Hearts see this out? Is there going to be a Motherwell fight back? Pearson, he wasn't holding back. Pearson against Struna. Now Lucas. Molt chesting it into the stride of Stephen Pearson. Here's Cadden. All of a sudden, things look a bit more fruitful for Motherwell. Cadden and Molt! Offside. Flag was up.
Well, it was excellent play all round. It all started by Stephen Pearson's tackle, but Louis Martin, you can see clearly just a couple of yards offside, but it's just that warning shot again. But look at that tackle from Pearson coming on. Clear tackle, Struna thinks he's been hit by a steam train, a ginger steam train at that, I may add, but great physical tackle. That just gave the Motherwell fans a little bit of a lift.
And they're still very much in this game. Jolis. Hughes. With the low-risk approach. And Hamilton. Hunted down by Lucas. Pearson for Motherwell. Jolis, who wanted handball. He rages on here, and it's Chule. Lucas. Jolis. Leonard Sowa, Aaron Hughes, most capped outfield player in Northern Ireland history. Only Pat Jennings has more caps amongst all players. And Hennigan incurs the wrath of the referee. Yellow card for Ben Hennigan.
And you just feel Ben Hennigan has every right to go for that ball. You know, he's coming in from behind. Is that where it's coming from? I'm not too sure there's an awful lot of contact, but again, you know, the letter of the law, every tackle from behind can't be a yellow card, or every tackle can't be a yellow card. But Andrew Dallas felt it was.
Struna. Chule. Derek Kitchen back to Alexandros Jolis. Sowa. Zardes brings the ball under control. His shot blocked. Hesitancy from Chule, and Pearson acting upon that. Walker. Struna. Just keeping young Liam Smith out of the side. Walker and Jolis and Sowa. And it's Sowa. Oh, it's worked its way to Ismael Gonzalez. And that low shot held by Sampson.
And he really is a handful, isn't he? You know, his movement, his touching the ball, his body strength, good quick feet. It's been a very, very good signing so far.
Sam Nicholson is going to be let loose for the last few minutes. I think that might be it for Jamie Walker. Struna. Kitchen. Let's play keep ball. Jolis. Chule. And the footsteps of Jules. Disappear from Hearts as they use the full width of the field. So, and Cowie. Behind it goes for the goal kick. Now the Hearts substitution, and Sam Nicholson will make his way on. Bad knee injury 2 weeks ago. Jamie Walker bids goodbye to the game. Man of the match performance the other night against Rangers. Spectacular performance. And be a spectator for the remainder of this game as Austin McPhee just provides a few words of wisdom in the direction of Sam Nicholson. 4 successive matches Nicholson has featured in to coming back from the knee injury. Thoughts on what Walker has offered, Stephen, today?
Listen, it's very tough when you've put in such a high energy performance only, what, just over 48 hours ago, to suddenly try and go and replicate that. So I think he found it tough.
Don Cowie, an immediate activity for the sprightly Nicholson. Cowie wasn't quite right for Don Cowie. Ismael Gonzalez. Chule. And Nicholson just trying to reach up, got his head to it. Quick reminder about Scottish Football Extra. Well, you'll see things like this, attempts to break the record in terms of the fastest goal in the Premiership. That was the other night for Sutton Terry Butcher. Scottish Football Extra on the air before Inverness County Thistle against Rangers, Friday the 24th of February. BT Sport 1 for that game. And Hamilton against Aberdeen, Tuesday the 28th of February, 7:30. Also BT Sport 1. Here's Lucas. Trying to give Hughes the slip. Skewed a bit by Hamilton. Playing a bit of keepy-uppy inside the half of the field. Over it comes from Cadden, and Lucas flings himself at it. But the referee's not too happy, Andrew Dallas. Motherwell fans in front of us aren't happy.
And it's good energy again from Motherwell, keeping the ball alive. Good deep ball by Chris Cadden. I don't know if Lee Lucas's left elbow just got in the back of Struan. Andrew Dallas was spot on. It certainly was a free kick as opposed to being a goal kick.
25 fouls littering the game. That was Louis Moult taking the tumble inside the area, followed by Sowa. Lucas not seeing the decision go his way. Lucas, Cadden. Sowa couldn't get close to him. Pearson's waiting in the middle. There's Stephen Pearson, unable to make contact. Chule. Credit to the 10 of Motherwell. They're giving it a go.
They certainly are. You know, it's as if, I said earlier, it galvanises. You know, sometimes you feel a little bit hard done by, and suddenly your energy levels go up. That's probably what they needed in the game, just something to inject, just to get them going.
Lucas, McManus, Hennigan, Lucas. Jules unable to control it. More than just mascots. Claret and amber.
All fighting for the cause there.
Job done.
Just seem they've got a little bit nervous, Hearts, for some reason, don't they? You know, they go from total control in the game against 11 up against 10. They've just, whether it's been sloppy passing or sometimes when you have the extra man, you kind of come off the game a little bit and just expect to go and win. So there'll be a slight concern for Ian Cathro that they haven't been on and dominated the game as what they probably would hope they've done.
Hughes for Sowa. Jolis. An away win for Hearts, long overdue. Last one arriving here at Fir Park, the end of September. They dominated the proceedings that night, Friday night encounter. Struna, and now Cowie. Struna. Hearts find the second goal that surely makes certain Cowie not to be. 10 minutes left. Just the one goal of record.
It's just an example, Don Cowie getting in a good position, that final little touch, just to really put the game to bed.
Is it going to be a second successive win for Ian Cathro? Motherwell have plenty to say about that in the closing stages. Whether 10 men or not.
The aim sometimes, Derek, when you go down to 10 men, it's just to stay in the game. Just try and give yourself that one or two opportunities. It may come from a set play, May get a free kick on the edge of the box as well, or a penalty. Just something to try and keeps you alive and gives you a lifeline. And the longer it stays at 1-0, Motherwell will hope their chance comes.
Struda. Chule. Beside the touchline, that was out. Stuart Stevenson, the assistant referee, very close to the action. We had a pretty good view of that ourselves. Zach Jules. A chance to play from the start for the first time on loan from Reading. He's qualified for Scotland through his mother. Chule. And Jules for company. Then goes Chule.
You're thinking Catherine Hearts will just want to see the game out, Derek, just to try and build in that momentum and the consistent performances we spoke about from the other night. Could they go and add to it?
And there by Chule. Jules just in front of Sampson. He'd already committed himself, Craig Sampson. So Nicholson will leave it for Leonard Sowa. Gonzalez showing for it. Ismael Gonzalez dragging it into the middle. Hennigan. He's following him every step of the way. Now Jolis. Struna. The width provided by Chule as he cuts in from that right-hand touchline. So Nicholson tidied up by Ben Hennigan. Jolis. Quite the coup for Hearts to get him, I think, and they know it.
Just his calmness and his composure, Derek, you know, his ability just to take the sting out of the game, to play that right pass. He's always an outlet, he's always there for his teammates, and it's great relief just to have someone on your team who you can pop the ball off to and you know they're going to look after it.
21 years of age now. He's played for Greece recently. November match against Belarus. 62nd cap. Hughes had to think about it, and Cannon will let McMillan take this. We will back to Jack McMillan. Now Cannon. Leslie. Way through McMillan and Pearson as he shovels it off towards Lucas. Kitchen did well, deserves the credit there, Perry Kitchen. Now Chule takes the ball for a run. Gonzalez just in front of him. Here's Ismael Gonzalez! The decisive goal, surely. Ismael Gonzalez. Well, he celebrates with the supporters, and that will mean a yellow card. Andrew Dallas has the card out already. He might consider it to be a booking worth taking. Gonzalez on target as a Hearts player for the first time. 2-0 to the Jambos.
And it's the perfect counter-attacking goal against the side who are pushing forward. 2 passes from winning the ball back on the edge of the box. Perry Kitchen to Chule. He carried the ball. The second pass played Gonzalez in. He's been a threat all afternoon. His movement, his body strength, and his performance has probably deserved a goal. Just slips it past Craig Sampson. Within 5-6 seconds of winning the ball back, it's in the back of the net.
And he hurdled the advertising hoardings and then made his way towards the Hearts fans in that stand. The referees generally take a dim view of that. Ismael Gonzalez. Beautifully taken. Opportunity. And it, in all likelihood, has put out the Motherwell fire for good.
Well, that's what you have to do, is take the sting out of the game. I'm sure the Hearts players would like to have done it a little bit earlier, but eventually, as the opposition keeps stretching forward, as Motherwell done, you leave yourself exposed when you're 10v11. That's exactly what happened.
Jules with the throw. Lucas. Motherwell certainly knew before a ball was kicked today that by no means out of the woods in the relegation battle. Kitchen, play on here. It's Nicholson and Gonzalez. Is he going to score again? Oh, Sampson denies him. Well, he's crossed for himself, Ismael Gonzalez. Golden chance. Lasley now, and Malt making the run up the Hearts defence. Lonitis just covering up. Chule, Kitchen. With a big hand in things on the creative side. Kitchen going back to that last move. Not quite the week for Heart of Midlothian. After all the Sturm and drang of the first few weeks of life under Ian Cathro. And they've been good value for this win if it becomes a win, Stephen.
Yeah, you know, I think the way they managed the first half and the way they dominated the ball without having that final end product which you're judged on. You know, they had the movement, they had the pass, and it sounds a little bit slow. But, you know, once the goals have came and the spaces have opened up, they've certainly created it.
And this was the attack that we're talking about. Kitchen for Nicholson, and Gonzalez did the rest.
Well, it was a great save by Craig Sampson. That was the chance just after that, which was really unlucky. Good movement again, good strong running from him.
And it was a different opportunity, as you saw, but he did score earlier and he got booked for his troubles. There's Chule and Gonzalez. He has scored his second and Hearts third this time. Quickly becoming a hero of the Heart of Midlothian supporters, Ismael Gonzalez. Clinical.
And when you join a new club, you want to hit the ground running as a centre forward. You want goals. You want to make the difference in the side, and he's made the difference today. He was really good against Rangers, but tonight, this afternoon, he's got his reward with goals. Jack Jules trying to keep the ball alive, trying to get the ball up the other end, but Chule does really well, winning it back initially, but then having the awareness to go and pick out Gonzalez. Really good finish from, what, 6-7 yards out.
Well, it does evoke memories of his start at St Mirren when he scored goals for fun his first few games. Motherwell not going to take anything from this game. It's going to be another victory for the Cathro 11. So a double for Ismael Gonzalez. I think Hearts used to dread coming here to Fir Park. Win here in September, but that was the first triumph away to Motherwell since 2010. Cadden looking for a bit of sympathy from the officials, not getting any. 3 has been Hearts' lucky number against Motherwell this term. 3 goals in each of the 3 meetings.
They've probably been better in every game. You know, I saw the game at Tynecastle where they won 3-0, where they were better on the day. Jamie Walker being the difference. We saw the game here at Fir Park when Callum Patterson and Alan Hume scored the wonderful goals. And I think today they've edged it as well. You know, they've been the better side.
Off the head of Aaron Hughes, there's Nicholson. Tom Cowie just beyond Sam Nicholson. And the big boot from Ben Hennigan.
And there's always going to be an uphill battle once it went to 10 men from Motherwell. You know, they were always going to chase the game. They're always going to expose themselves and open themselves up to try and get that equaliser once it went 1-0 up. And Hearts have been clinical. I think that's the one thing you can say. They've been clinical when they've had their opportunities late in the game.
Nicholson. Hearts throw. Some of the East Stand regulars taking exception to that decision. It's going to be Hearts' biggest victory in terms of the margin at Fir Park since April 1999. Finishes this way. Struna. Cowie, and now Kitchen. You have to be very taken with some of the newcomers in this Hearts squad. It's going to be interesting to see what they do from here on in. Starting with the cup tie, the derby meeting with Hibernian next weekend. Nicholson. Let's see, maybe Hearts are in the mood for more. Sam Nicholson. Sent away by McManus. Jules up towards Molt. Reaching out for it was Ablanitis, now Kitchen and Silva. Nicholson. Too much elevation.
I think it's good for the Scottish game in general to see Sam Nicholson back on the pitch. You know, he's been out for a long spell, as you see Mark McGee, but Sam Nicholson, you know, a clever young player who Gary Locke brought through. He's had his moments in his career, but it's really nice to see him back on the pitch.
Well, prior to this match, only the bottom three, the current bottom three, picked up fewer points away from home than Heart of Midlothian. Something that had bothered Hearts fans, lack of punch on their travels. They put all that to rest today. Struna. Maybe time for one last Hearts attack, we shall see. Lucas intervenes and back to Sampson. Louis Molt's header, Chris Cadden. Silva patrolling that sector of the pitch. It's another win for Ian Cathro's side, and they fully deserve it. Ismael Gonçalves stamping his authority on the game late on, heading not once but twice. Alexandros Jolis in his first start for the club also scoring, albeit with help from a big deflection of Keith Lasley. Things got very difficult for Motherwell when Carl McHugh was sent off, and realistically that opened the floodgates for Hearts, who have their first away win since the end of September. The final score at Fir Park is Motherwell 0, Heart of Midlothian 3.
Thank you very much to Derek and to Stephen. Back-to-back wins for Hearts, and perfect timing too, with Hibs up next in the Scottish Cup. Ian Cathro looks like he's got Hearts headed in the right direction, and 2 goals for him today. He is delighted. OK, our analysis to come shortly, but don't forget, as soon as we are done here, it's BT Sports Score.
They just bent it into that far corner. Typical Pedro.
Hang on, I'm talking.
They've got to judge the flight, I'm talking.
It's a sense of how important this all is to your club.
Oh, it's very important.
Is that a hat-trick? I can't count, Mark. Who cares? A man of a few words, as you can appreciate.
It looks like he's going to do something this half.
Thank you, Jeff. Excellent, yeah. Come out the glasses.
It is always lively. Stay tuned for BT Sports Score up next. After that, from 5 p.m. today, Spurs against Middlesbrough in the Premier League, also available in 4K UHD. Premier League tonight follows that at 8 o'clock with Jake and all the team. We're back with you for Scottish Football Extra. That's Friday the 24th of February, 6:45 p.m. We're up in the Highlands. The live game that night is Inverness against Rangers from 7:15 p.m. BT Sport 1. So this is the table then ahead of all the 3 p.m. kickoffs on this Saturday. Hearts remain in 4th, but look, they've closed the gap on Aberdeen to just 3 points now. 5 points behind Rangers as well, and Motherwell remain in the top half for now. The 3 p.m. kickoffs then, Aberdeen against Partick Thistle, Hamilton against Kilmarnock, Inverness v Dundee are all key games, aren't they? Rangers v Ross County as well in Glasgow. I can tell you that Mark Warburton has made 3 changes today, including Rob Kiernan out the team, Philip Senderos comes in. Interesting, some changes there. And tomorrow, St Johnstone face Celtic. So 3 second-half goals for Hearts. 2 new signings on the score sheet as well. Joe Lees with the first, Gonsalves got the second and the third. Plenty more to dissect from this second half. At Fir Park today, a big moment in the second half turned this game maroon. Carl McHugh sent off and Hearts capitalised. Alexandros Jolis got his first for the club, a deflected effort. Then Ishmael Gonsalves followed that with his first for the club too, and he got Hearts third in the day as well. Let's get some reaction, the goal scorers with Ailey Barber.
Well, Alex, a first start for Hearts after experiencing that on Wednesday night. You must have been desperate to get back out there today.
Yeah, it was nice. I played 90 minutes, I have a lot of time to play. I enjoyed, the team win, so everything is okay, it was nice.
And also very nice, I'm sure, to get your first goal for Hearts.
Yes, that's also very good. But the most important that the team wins. After the game against Glasgow Rangers, this game was also important to continue like this.
Yeah, there was a lot of expectation after the performance on Wednesday night. What does it say about the mentality of you as a group of players that you were able to do it again, to back that up with a performance and a result today?
Of course, in football you have to, every time, every game you have to show that you are strong and you cannot stay back and think we won last game, so every game you have to continue like this.
And a couple of goals for the man next to you, Isma. Finally opening your Hearts account, and with 2 goals, it must be good as a striker to get that done early.
Of course, it's very good for the confidence, but the most important is the 3 points, and the team is improving. And I think we did a good game, and it's all. I'm happy to score 2 goals. I was on the way of the goals in Cyprus, so I'm happy I keep scoring.
You seem to have come in, a lot of the new players, and gelled very quickly together. What's been behind that?
No, I think the players they was here already. They receive us like very good, and so we keep we make adaptation fast. So it's very easy like this. It's good voice on the dressing room.
Well done today, Isma. You are the man of the match. Alex, I'll let you do the honours. Thank you.
Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Looks pretty happy, doesn't he? Stephen Craigan and Chris Sutton are here. You've had a busy day. Straight back down for the analysis after the match. No doubt it turned the game, didn't it, on the Carl McHugh red card?
Yes, it did, and only anyone connected with Motherwell would think otherwise than a red. It was a red. It was endangering an opponent, and I don't like the way Andrew Dallas gives his cards out, I have to say that. But, I mean, you know, that's a poor challenge. As soon as you come off your feet like that, you're going to cause yourself a
excessive
problem.
Force.
Excessive force, absolutely. And from that angle, and I think in fairness to Stephen in the commentary box, his first impressions, it was a yellow, but then after you did change to a red.
I think when you see the high behind and it slowed down, I think it's very similar to the Scott McDonald one. You know, again, Carr's not that type of player, but that's irrelevant. But, you know, when you see the speed of the tackle and an open play, for a referee to make that call and be so strong about it, he has to be 100%. He was very, very quick on it. So
he was right, though.
Well, he was, because when you follow through, the minute you go off the ground, you're given the referee a decision to make. And the referee made the decision, obviously, to give it a red card.
Motherwell tried to fight after that, but it was always going to be an uphill struggle, wasn't it?
I thought they were better with 10. You know, they had more attempts in goal. They got down the sides a little bit better.
Stephen Pearson came on.
Pearson came on. They seemed to have more energy about them. You know, and I said sometimes when you go down to 10 men, it galvanises you a little bit. But, you know, getting the first goal for Hearts was crucial. They had to try and take the sting out of it. They had to try and take the game away from Motherwell and use that extra man advantage. It comes from a wicked deflection, but, you know, from Hearts' point of view, it's just about getting the goal.
I'm not having the goalkeeper there. He has to get his feet moving. It takes a deflection, it loops up, and, you know, Mark McGee might think that that's unlucky. He's not far away from that, but he doesn't get a step back. He should react.
I think that's a little bit harsh, because as soon as it takes a deflection, it goes straight up into the air.
It goes but he can react.
But the goalkeeper's set for the shot and the pace of it. You'll be seeing it in slow motion, but when it's in full pace,
he should get a step in there, Steve. I think he'll be disappointed.
The next time we go to do a game, you stand in goals, I'll take a deflection from the edge of the box and see if you can jump 12 foot in the air and keep it.
I don't think we won't do that. Well,
we won't.
We can do that. I'll save it.
We'll do
yeah. OK, good. Should we hear from Ian Cathro now? He must be delighted. Back-to-back victories. He's with Ailey now.
Well, Ian, back-to-back wins after the expectation on your side after Wednesday's victory. How pleased are you?
Yeah, we're pleased. We're pleased it took a big effort from us. You know, the game was a little bit different. We had to control the game with possession at times. It was maybe a little bit slower. But I felt that overall we done what we had to do to put ourselves in a position to win the game.
Some good performances again from some of your new players, a couple of them getting first goals. What's been down to them gelling so quickly as a group?
I think it's always came down to the fact that, you know, they're players who are ready. You know, of course, when you bring a number of players into the group, it takes work. It takes time for them to feel comfortable and build the relationships with each other. But it's also partly down to the guys that we're bringing. They are ready to play. So it's down to them for their work and making that happen.
You were comfortable to make a change at half-time as well. What did you feel was lacking in that first half?
We just wanted to speed up a little bit. We wanted to speed up our attacks a little bit more, maybe push our attacks a little bit more down the sides and just make sure we were accelerating a little bit more often.
The red card was an obvious turning point in the game. What was your view of it, and how pleased are you with how the players dealt with that? Because sometimes it can actually go against teams.
Yeah, from the angle that we see the distance, you know, it didn't look like a nice tackle to say any more than that on whether it was justified or not. I couldn't make any exact comment. I think after that we recognised, you know, that the game was going to be there for us, and we had to keep pressure high, and we've done that.
The Edinburgh Derby to come, of course, next week in the Scottish Cup. How different a group do you feel you are now than perhaps when the draw was made?
Well, we're stronger because we have more people and we're together, and I think the players, everyone's shown an excellent attitude over the past few days and a couple of weeks, and making sure that we get ourselves together and that we keep improving every single day, and I'm really pleased for them just now that they've had that.
Thanks, Ian. Well done today.
Okay, thank you.
He must be especially happy that his
well
new
there,
signings. Yes, you've made that point a few times recently.
He's got something about this not speaking well.
Well, because people have criticised him for the way that he's spoken,
Any names?
Stephen.
Any names? No?
Well, plenty of names. How long have we got?
No, it's just I wasn't aware of that.
People have attacked him for the way he's interviewed, and you know, he should be judged on his results, the performances on the pitch, and what he says in the dressing room more pertinently.
He'll also be judged on his signings, and when you've got a striker like Gonçalves that comes in and he gets a couple of goals, he's off to a good start, isn't he?
Well, it shows, because, you know, we've done Hearts previously and we've spoke about Jonsson being the main man, and suddenly he's the one taking our hat.
Well, that was brave, wasn't it?
Well, it was, but it was the right decision. It proved to be the right decision. This is what, 4 or 5 minutes left in the game. Motherwell are trying to stretch, they're trying to chase the game, but you still have to be precise in your passing. It was a perfect counter-attacking move. It was 2 passes and the ball's in the opposition net. Great goal.
Nice finish. When strikers are in that position, you often think they're going to go across the goalkeeper, but it's clever the way he beats him at his near post. Controlled finish. I don't like to see players getting carded for that. He just scored a goal, Darryl. Even you'd be excited.
His first goal for his new club as well. Yeah, of course, he's delighted. How would you assess his day overall today? Contribution, apart from the goals?
I thought in the first half, he played out on the left-hand side, didn't he? And to be honest, all Hearts play. I mean, I don't know whether the Wednesday night had a big effect.
Did they struggle to get back to the same intensity?
I think so. And you know, he was bitty. This is a terrific finish. There's pace on the cross. There's poor defending from Jules. Nice pick out from Chowley. And he actually finishes that really well. Uses the pace of the ball and guides it into the corner. That is a terrific finish.
I think your point on trying to match the same intensity and the energy from the other night is always going to be difficult. And I think that's what Ian said in his interview. They've done enough to win the game. So that means they were just efficient in what they had to do.
Wonder what Mark McGee made of all that. Here he is now with Ailey Barber.
Well, Mark, again, we're talking about a game-changing red card. What was your view of it?
No, I mean, my view at the time was it wasn't a red. The consensus with the players, the boy himself, it's not a red. I think it's a bad decision, and I think it has cost us a game. You
add to that the 2 injuries that you had, the huge deflection for the first goal. Luck really wasn't on your side today. Not
the injury so much, but the deflection, was, a little bit of bad luck. They get a bit of fortune. But beyond that point, up to the second goal, we were a better team. We dominated. The result doesn't reflect the game. I'm delighted with most of the performance. We got into the last third too many times not to make a goal. That would be disappointing. I think we've got to turn that kind of situation into goals, and we'll practice that between now and the Aberdeen games. We'll look at that. We'll think about that. But that was the only aspect of the game that I was disappointed in. At 10 men, we never known with 10 men. They kept at it. They were sensible. They defended in numbers, and they got up the park as a unit. I had no complaints at all about the performance. And I think the result just does not reflect the nature of the game.
What is the biggest frustration? Is it the fact that the result doesn't reflect the game, or is it the decision that was made?
The decision. He's booked Ben Hennigan for a fantastic tackle in the middle of the park. You know, we're getting players sent off. Players are not getting sent off against us. You know, the boy was sent off for Rangers, but there should be another Rangers player for a similar tackle. If he's going to send us off, you know, I'm not advocating the boy should be sent off, but if he's going to send us off, send them off. You know, and I just think that it was a good tackle. He's a strong tackler, the boy, Callum McHugh. It was a committed tackle. That's all it was. You know, and you know, the referee was very, very quick to send him off. I was really, really disappointed in the referee's performance.
Will it be another appeal process for you?
Absolutely. You know, I think I remain 100% convinced that Scott McDonald's is not a red card. You know, Scott McDonald's won the ball, he's nicked the ball, and then following through, he's withdrew his leg, he's actually bent his leg to take the pressure off it, otherwise he could have hurt Kenny Miller. And I think it's the exact same today. You know, it was his trailing leg that caught him. It's not a sending off, so we will be appealing it. I don't expect it will win it. You know, it'll cost us 500 quid. That 500 quid will go wherever it goes. But, you know, we will be appealing it because we believe it's right.
Thanks very much, Mike.
Okay.
Interested to hear that then, the appeal's going in. He's not even sure he's going to win it. And given what happened with Scott McDonald recently, is it worth an appeal, Stephen?
Well, I think it is, because I don't think it's as serious as Scott McDonald's. You know, if he's saying Scott McDonald's was 50-50, then I certainly don't think Carl's was as serious as that. You know, Carl is clearly going to win the ball because Scott kind of lunged in, but Carl has gone for the ball. So I'd like to think they would appeal, and there would certainly be discussion.
Chris?
I don't know what game. I don't know what game Mark McGee was watching there. I mean, everything he said was wrong there, and that was a red card. Let's get it right. That was a red card, and the Hennigan one was a yellow. Now, you know, Andrew Dallas made a very odd decision in the first half, didn't he? But, you know, Mark McGee's completely wrong.
OK, gentlemen, thank you very much indeed. 45 minutes more of good football from Hearts. Another decent one today, wasn't it? We'll see you. Yes, it was. We'll see you in a few weeks. Stay with us on BT Sport 1. BT Sport Score is up next with Matt Smith. See you soon. Bye for now.